Hello friends, welcome back to our YouTube channel Doctor's Corner. Today we are going to discuss about the auditory pathway. Okay, that means how exactly the information, that is the electrical signals in the form of the action potentials, are transmitted from the inner ear to the brain, and which part of the brain that we are going to discuss today. Okay, so I'll just draw a line diagram of the central nervous system, basically the brain and the brain stem, okay, to know the auditory pathway. So I'll just draw the line diagram for the cerebral cortex. Okay, consider this as the cerebral cortex. Then at this there will be a brain stem, that is the midbrain, pons and medulla. So we have midbrain, pons and medulla. Okay, midbrain, pons and medulla, brain stem. So consider this as midbrain, pons and medulla, and below the medulla there will be spinal cord. Okay, so this is the upper part of the CNS. So now how exactly the sound waves which are traveled, that is we'll discuss in detail in the mechanism of breathing. Today we are just concentrating on the auditory pathway. Okay, so if you consider this as the right ear, okay, right ear, that is the right pinna. So from right ear, the external acoustic meatus, tympanic membrane, then the middle ear, then we have the inner ear, that is the cochlea, vestibule and the semicircular canal. We have discussed in detail about the anatomy of the external ear, middle ear and the inner ear in the previous last 3 videos. Those who have missed, please go through it. Okay, so this is from the right side, and also from the left side, so left side pinna, that is the ear. So from the left side also, from the external auditory meatus, then we have the tympanic membrane, then the middle ear, then inner ear, labyrinth, that is the cochlea, vestibule and semicircular canal. Okay, so in this cochlea is the main receptor organ, it is the hair cells. Okay, and in the modulus bone of the cochlea there is one ganglion known as spiral ganglion, which has the bipolar neuron, that is the first order neurons of the auditory pathway, that is the bipolar neurons which are present in this modulus of the cochlea. So one process goes to the peripheral process goes to the hair cells, and the central process from the spiral ganglion comes, that is the axons of that bipolar neurons goes to the brain stem. Where exactly in the brain stem? So in the upper part of the medulla, we have the dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei. So in the upper part of the medulla we have the dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei, and ventral cochlear nuclei. So these are the cochlear nuclei which are present in the upper part of the medulla. So from this both this ear from the inner hair cells, the axon from the spiral ganglion, they will come and synapse with this nuclei in the brainstem, that is upper part of the medulla. It is dorsal cochlear nuclei and the ventral cochlear nuclei. Okay, from this inner hair cells from the cochlea, the axons go, and this axons comes under the 8th cranial nerve, that is it will come via 8th cranial nerve. So the 8th cranial nerve is vestibulocochlear nerve. Okay, so from that this axons from the 8th cranial nerve will carry to the midbrain, that is the first order neurons. Okay, now in the medulla, so from this ventral cochlear nuclei of the both side, okay, they will have the crisscross connection, that is they will connect to each other. Okay, they will connect to each other, and this connection they form the trapezoid body. This crisscross connection between this ventral cochlear nuclei constitute the trapezoid body, that is they will communicate to each other, and few fibers from this, okay, from this ventral cochlear nuclei go up to the pons, and they will give connections to one nuclei in the pons. It is known as superior olivary nucleus. Okay, superior olivary nucleus. So this is known as superior olivary nucleus. Olivary nucleus in the pons. Superior olivary nucleus. Okay. Also in the pons there is one more nuclei that is known as nuclei of lateral lemniscus on both the sides. Nuclei of lateral lemniscus. Nuclei of lateral lemniscus. So in the medulla we have dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei, and in the pons we have superior olivary nucleus and nuclei of lateral lemniscus. Okay, so from this, as we said, in the ventral cochlear nuclei the fibers will crisscross to each others, and few fibers goes to the opposite side from this ventral cochlear nuclei, go to the opposite side superior olivary nucleus. Okay, that is the second order neurons from this cochlear nuclei, and also few fibers will go directly to the same side superior olivary nucleus. So from this side it will go, majority of the fibers go to the contralateral side and few goes to the same side. Okay, now from this dorsal cochlear nuclei, also the fibers will go to the opposite nuclei of lateral lemniscus. Okay, opposite nucleus of the lateral lemniscus, okay. So now these fibers are interconnected, they are interconnected synapses between the dorsal and the ventral cochlear nuclei also. Okay, now from this superior olivary nucleus, a bundle of the nerve fibers, that is the third order neurons, will ascend up and they form a bundle of the axons. This bundle of the axons which will go via the nuclei of the lateral nucleus, most of the fibers, and few will escape from this, and these fibers which are coming from this dorsal cochlear nuclei, and however from the ventral cochlear nuclei also this gives synapses, so this will ascend together. So all this bundle of this axons, that is from this cochlear nuclei and from the superior olivary nuclei, they ascend together and they form a bundle that is known as lateral lemniscus. Okay, so this bundle of the axons, it is known as lateral lemniscus, and they will ascend up to the midbrain, and the midbrain we have one more nuclei, and that nuclei in the midbrain where it will terminate, it is known as inferior colliculus. Okay, inferior colliculus. So here in the midbrain we have one more nuclei, inferior colliculus, on both the sides. Okay, so these things will be on the both the side, that is from this side also superior olivary nucleus will ascend, most of the fibers will go along with this nuclei of the lateral lemniscus, or few will bypass this, and the fibers from the dorsal cochlear nuclei which comes from the contralateral side to the this one lateral lemniscus nuclei, and few fibers will ascend to the superior olivary nucleus also. So these fibers together they form a bundle of the nerve fiber that is known as lateral lemniscus, and they will terminate in the inferior colliculus. Okay, in the midbrain. I hope it is clear. Now from the midbrain they will ascend up. So as you know, there is one structure here, thalamus. Okay, in the upper part there is a thalamus, and one of the nuclei or one of the part of the thalamus here there is concerned with the auditory pathway, that is the medial geniculate body. Okay, lateral geniculate body is concerned with the visual pathway. Okay, medial geniculate body. So this one, these fibers from this inferior colliculus, will ascend up. Okay, they will ascend up to the medial geniculate body. Okay, medial geniculate body, and from this medial geniculate body they form the optic radiations. they form the optic radiations. Yeah, sorry, or not this one, auditory radiation. Optic radiations are there from the lateral geniculate body, that is in the visual pathway. Here they form the auditory radiations. Okay, auditory radiations. Auditory radiations, a bundle of the nerve fibers here from the medial geniculate body, auditory radiations, and ultimately these fibers will go and terminate in the auditory area, primary auditory area, in the primary auditory area, which is area number 41, situated in the temporal bone, superior gyrus of the temporal bone. Okay, superior gyrus of the temporal bone, auditory area, and around this there is auditory association area, but the primary auditory area is area number 41 at the superior gyrus of the temporal bone. Okay, so just to remember this pathway, there is one mnemonic. Okay, commonly used mnemonic for the auditory pathway, we can remember is with the help of this mnemonic, echolemma. Now, what is this echolemma? If we recall the thing, how the pathway starts. So it starts from the hair cells through the 8th cranial nerve, that is the 8th cranial nerve, the first order neurons, which goes to the cochlear nuclei, dorsal and ventral cochlear nuclei. C stands for the cochlear nuclei in the medulla, upper part of the medulla, and from this cochlear nuclei the fibers ascend. Most of them they cross to the opposite side and few will go to the same side. Okay, so the fibers ascend up, and that ascending fibers from this cochlea, they will terminate into superior olivary nucleus in the pons. So O stands for superior olivary nucleus, and again they will ascend as lateral lemniscus. So L stands for the lateral lemniscus, and in between there will be nuclei of the lateral lemniscus. Few fibers will not go through the nucleus of the lateral lemniscus, but together they will form the lateral lemniscus. Okay, then they will ascend in the midbrain. They will again terminate in the inferior colliculus. Okay, so this I stands for inferior colliculus, and they will ascend up to the medial geniculate body. M stands for medial geniculate body, and finally the auditory radiations and the auditory cortex. So echolemma, 8th cranial nerve, cochlear nuclei, superior olivary nucleus, lateral lemniscus, inferior colliculus, medial geniculate body, and auditory radiations. Okay, hope this point is clear. There is a spatial arrangement of this auditory pathway in the auditory cortex, and there is a bilateral communication from both these sides. So at least in the 3 sides there will be bilateral communication. So there is a communication between these 2 nuclei at the level of the inferior colliculus, that is the first communication on either side, and at the level of the nuclei of lateral lemniscus also there is communication, and of course we have already discussed at the level of this ventral cochlear nucleus, that is at the trapezoid body. So they are communicated on the both the sides. Okay, so unilateral loss is not much seen because there is a bilateral representation in the auditory pathway. So please subscribe our YouTube channel Doctor's Corner, and share it with your friends. Thank you.